Welcome back to Artificial Evidence. I'm Owen Carver, and tonight we're taking you to the quiet, unsuspecting suburbs of Calgary, Alberta, where a murder unfolded in a place many would consider one of life's mundane routines, the local laundromat. A place where people simply drop off their laundry, fold their clothes, and maybe exchange a few words with the owner. But on a dreary afternoon in 2016, the ordinary became sinister, and an unsolvable mystery was born.
It was early March, just as the last remnants of winter clung to the city. The chill in the air was still strong enough to make you want to stay indoors, but in the small Glenmore district of Calgary, the streets were quieter than usual, the stores seemingly unaffected by the weather. On 14th Street, there sat a laundromat called Spin and Clean, nestled between a convenience store and a small cafe. The neon lights buzzed softly as patrons came and went, and inside, the hum of washing machines and dryers filled the air. The laundromat was a place of routine for many locals, but no one could have predicted the violence that would unfold within its walls that day. The incident occurred around 2:30 p.m. when a woman named Emily Dawson entered the laundromat just like any other Tuesday afternoon. She was in her early 42nd, a regular who had been coming to Spin and Clean for months. A woman of few words, Emily would often come in with her laundry basket, select her machine, and wait for her clothes to wash. She'd nod a polite greeting to the owner, Tom Reed, a man in his mid-50s who ran the place with a quiet, easygoing manner. She was a simple woman with a quiet life, but that afternoon was different. Emily entered as usual, basket in hand, but as she walked toward the back row of machines, she collapsed to the floor. The sound of her fall echoed through the laundromat, drawing the attention of a lone customer, an elderly man who had been reading a newspaper near the front. He rushed to her side but found her unresponsive. It wasn't long before the paramedics arrived, but by then it was too late. Emily Dawson was dead. The cause of death was quickly determined to be blunt force trauma to the head. There was no sign of a struggle, no robbery attempt, and nothing in her personal life that suggested she was a target. There was nothing that pointed to anyone having a reason to harm her. The laundromat had no history of trouble, so why was Emily dead, and who had killed her? As investigators scoured the scene, they began to uncover strange and unnerving details. First, the laundromat's security cameras had malfunctioned just for that hour. The footage of Emily entering the store was available, but the next hour was completely blank. The cameras had failed, leaving a void in what would have been crucial evidence. Suspicion fell on the people closest to Emily, but nothing pointed to any of them. Tom, the laundromat owner, was questioned thoroughly. He seemed genuinely upset by the death of his regular customer, and there was no sign that he had any involvement. Other patrons, two regulars who came and went every Tuesday, also had nothing that stood out in their background. Emily's life didn't appear to be filled with any suspicious characters, and her few acquaintances couldn't provide any meaningful information. Days passed, and the investigation seemed to be going nowhere. That's when the first break in the case came, an anonymous envelope containing a photograph of Emily. It was taken on the street outside the laundromat, a candid shot that, at first glance, seemed harmless. But there was something odd about the photo. At the bottom of the frame, the faint glow of a flash was visible, a stark contrast to the dimly lit street. But no one had seen anyone with a camera outside that day. Who had taken the picture, and why? The envelope contained more than just the photo. It also contained a set of coordinates, leading to a location in the nearby alley, just behind the laundromat. The authorities were puzzled. Why would someone send this to them? What were they trying to reveal? The next morning, investigators went to the alley. They found something remarkable, a hidden camera tucked into the corner of a vending machine just outside the laundromat. The camera, barely noticeable at first, had been running for weeks, capturing the goings-on inside and outside of Spin and Clean. But the discovery didn't explain why the camera had been installed, nor did it give them any clue about who was behind it. Then, as they reviewed the footage from the camera, something even stranger came to light. The image wasn't just of Emily on that fateful day. The camera had captured images of a woman, Rosa Morales, entering the laundromat earlier that afternoon. Rosa, the wife of Hector Morales, a regular customer who had been coming to Spin and Clean for years. She had been in the laundromat moments before Emily entered. The video showed Rosa slipping into the store, her eyes darting nervously as she made her way to the back. It wasn't until much later that investigators realized just how important that video would be. Hector was brought in for questioning, and the truth began to unravel. Hector had been having an affair with Emily for the past few months, something his wife Rosa had recently discovered. The affair had caused a huge rift in their marriage, and tensions were running high. Rosa, fearing that Hector would leave her for Emily, had confronted Emily at the laundromat. But the confrontation had gone horribly wrong. In the heat of the moment, Rosa had struck Emily with a nearby object, a heavy metal laundry basket. The blow was fatal, and Emily fell to the ground, unconscious. Rosa panicked, fearing that the entire neighborhood would soon know about the affair. She fled the scene, leaving Emily to die alone. The hidden camera, which Hector had placed in the vending machine to spy on his wife, had captured everything except the fatal blow, but it had revealed Rosa's presence in the laundromat at the crucial moment. The footage was damning. Rosa's confession came shortly after the footage was shown to her. She admitted to the crime, but the details of the cover-up were even more chilling. She had assumed no one would notice Emily's body for hours. She didn't know that the camera had been recording. It was a mistake, a tragic one, that led to Emily's death. This is Artificial Evidence. I'm Owen Carver, and this case proves that even the most ordinary places can hide the darkest secrets. Until next time, remember, the truth can be elusive, but the algorithm knows.